Jackson and first turned white. And I started watching Nick at Night and Nickelodeon when it was bitchin' with shows like You Can't Do That on Television when Three's Company had just been finishing and we ate spaghetti in my mom's kitchen. I was first obsessed with music, then did I mention I made my sister and neighbor join my band that was stinking. We spoofed the Monkees and Weird Al, and on the jukebox we played Miami Sound. And I would blast George Harrison when no one's around, way before I knew that I'd produce No Rollerblades Allowed. Then I invented a game called Fun Ride, where you take a wading pool up an ivy hill and slide. The teen at the top of the hill had made up his mind. He said he'd hop the fence and knock our winds out when he had time. Incoming, we're gonna fling things over his top, until my sis told on ourselves and we all got caught. All I remember is Kevin's Damadi's haircut, and that we'd hear him yell at his parents every time when they fought. But that wasn't the worst of our brats. There were these two really annoying kids from day camp, Jessica and her little brother Brian. They always came over to our house uninvited, cause every time I turned the TV on, they play a cheesy 80s song. That's how it was back in the day, when I lived on Donegal Way. Cause every day on Nickelodeon, they always had to slime someone, all the way up to second grade, when I lived on Donegal Way. Now Jessica was bad by herself, but when she brought Brian, it'd be living hell. When they came to our house, they never rang the doorbell. They just appeared in our backyard with that cabbage smell. Sometimes we'd be in front of the house and we'd see the two of them down the street, riding their bikes to our feet. I never even went where they lived, or slept where they lived, or dreamt where they lived, or crept where they lived. In fact, I didn't even know where their house was. Neither did Nally or Dana from my band, what the fuck. Maybe one day they followed us from camp with our luck, which is fine, so they did something really messed up. Brian thought he was cool, so he threw my toys in the pool, but it was the middle of winter, so what the fuck we do? It was cold, but I had nothing to lose, so I looked in my drawer to find my swimming suit. But in the long run, I ended up diving in with all my clothes on, which was a lot of fun. So I'll enjoy, let this kid destroy my day until I get pneumonia till May. But don't worry, I'll make sure that they'll soon pay. I wouldn't try anything so bad they just go away, cause I don't do that. I don't handle things in that way. It wasn't revenge, I just had a messy plan, okay? Cause every time I turn the TV on, they play a cheesy 80s song. That's how it was back in the day, when I lived on Donegal Way. Cause every day on Nickelodeon, they always had to slime someone, all the way up to second grade, when I lived on Donegal Way. On Nickelodeon, they were all into green slime. When you say I don't know, it falls on you every time. As a kid, I wanted to be in on it too, so I went into the kitchen to go dig up some food. But not for eating, I wanted to make my own green goop, to have green slime and to put it to some good use. Cracked a few eggs, maybe some flour and water, some baking soda, vinegar, and peanut butter. It still wasn't green, more of a kind of tan color, so I got a pen, cause I thought green would be funner. You know the ink part of a marker that's kinda stuck in? I pulled that out and mixed everything together in a bucket. But it was late and I wanted to sleep instead, so I left the slime outside next to Brian's bike he left. In the morning, me, Nally, and Dana had a plan. We would paint it on Brian's bike, but just as a scam. But instead, the next morning, the green slime had exploded, and with that goop, now Brian's bike was loaded. I still don't know, maybe it's a chemical imbalance. Plus, it was crusty and reeked of really, really bad gas. And that's the story of Jessica, Kevin, and Brian, and me, Nally, and Dana, and how we use the green slime. So kids, don't be influenced by TV like I was, or you'll end up with green slime and a dumb rhyme to bust. Cause every time I turn the TV on, they play a cheesy 80s song. That's how it was back in the day, when I lived on Donegal Way. Cause every day on Nickelodeon, they always had to slime someone, all the way up to second grade, when I lived on Donegal Way. Cause every time I turn the TV on, they play a cheesy 80s song. That's how it was back in the day, when I lived on Donegal Way. Cause every day on Nickelodeon, they always had to slime someone, all the way up to second grade, when I lived on Donegal Way. When I lived on Donegal Way, way back in the day, all the way up to second grade, when I lived on Donegal Way.